Hello everybody, welcome to the Northern Film Review. This week we have got the wonderful Will on to talk about his film that he was filming last week and talking about his other sort of like projects that he's worked on and sort of overcoming difficulties on sort of a student film set and, dealing with COVID in a weird COVID world. I don't know. Hope you enjoy. The Northern Film Review, with your hosts, Oliver Ellis and Luke Simpson. Hello everyone, how are we all?
Yeah, decent.
Cool.
That's about it.
That's about it, yeah.
Right, see you. Thank you, podcast over.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you everyone for listening. I'll see you guys next week.
All right. It was excellent being a guest this time. I really did a lot here. All right, see you.
Yeah, that's about it. Cool. You were filming last week.
Yes.
I was filming last week. Luke wasn't.
No.
I had a stressful time.
Yeah.
I've been filming back-to-back films. So I literally finished on the Sunday night for those who do bad things, and then I picked it up on the Monday to pick up the equipment, which was depressing because we finished at like 4 on the Sunday, and then on the Wednesday I had to wake up at like 5 for the Adam is slowly being attacked. For the 4, just turn him down. Which was interesting. It's a stressful life. Doing sort of maybe perhaps not the most legal work hours.
Yeah. Filmmaking is really not legal, though, is it?
No,
Work hours, really.
Yeah, 13-hour days with half an hour break. No, that's never happened.
No.
Would never happen on our film set. And if anyone from the course is listening, this doesn't happen. So you were filming your film Jessica.
Yeah.
Do you just want to tell us a little bit about that? What is it about? What's the vibe? What's the aesthetic?
Sure, the aesthetic. All right. Well, fucking sorry, I already sworn once.
Yeah, that's fine. It's fine. Just
chaos.
something I have to edit out later, so it's all right. No worries. Just keep swearing and giving me
warned
work.
me on the way up, on the walk
right.
up that it was
with my parents. Okay. So, it's 12 minutes of chaos essentially. That's the plan. That's what we filmed.
Yeah.
Simple premise. We have our main character, Ed. He wakes up on the street of Leeds.
Yeah.
He has no idea where he is. He's woken up after a night of clubbing.
Yeah.
And he gets these flashbacks, these memories, these really like untangible sort of pictures, images. Doesn't know what it is until he looks at his arm. He sees the name Jessica written on his arm.
Yeah.
And then he looks further underneath that. He sees a time, underneath that, a location. And he realizes, oh, wait, shit, I got to see this girl. I got to meet this girl, Jessica, at this time, at this location. I have 2 hours. How do I get there? Checks his wallet, has no money. He's screwed. There's nothing. So he just explores Leeds. He asks for favors. He tries to get lifts. He tries to do whatever he can. He gets tied up in everyone else's drama until he sort of loses sight of his original goal, and he's wrapped up in all the drama, all the people he's met along the way, and it's just non-stop chaos. That's essentially the premise.
Yeah, okay, that's cool. That's interesting. So, like, what other films is it similar to? Is it like, some people go, oh, this is a Fincher-esque film, or it's, Fincher meets Black Mirror. What sort of genre is it in?
So, like, I'm thinking, like, is anyone seeing Uncut Gems here?
Oh, yeah.
Similar sort of Uncut Gems, kind of, maybe even Good Time, same directors.
So Safdie Brothers.
Safdie Brothers. Also, originally planned it to be similar to Safdie Brothers in the way that they shot Good Time, where they literally got they got the actors for, like, the policemen.
Yeah.
And they got, Robert Pattinson and one of the Safdie brothers actually acting in there, running through a mall, right? And they didn't get any permissions. They just did it and got real reactions from real people, and they thought it was a real police chase in the place. I wanted to do that initially. Adam would not have let me do that, but I wish I could have done something like that. It's just such a cool idea to me.
So you like the idea of guerrilla filmmaking?
Yeah, definitely. And I wish, obviously I can't do that with uni, and I should have known that. But that's something I'm going to be doing afterwards.
There's nothing called health and safety, Will.
Yes, I know, but fuck health and safety when it comes to stuff that's quite literally... I understand, like, the health and safety of my actors is paramount, but if they agree to it, and if I'm happy with it, we should be fine with it. We don't have to sign forms that someone else says that it's safe to run through a mall. University, so that's why I should have known. So after uni, I'm doing that. That's what I'm going to do, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Try to do it in Leeds before I leave Leeds after uni, but yeah, that's the idea.
Wow. Yeah, that's quite an interesting approach to filmmaking. Yeah, because there's lots of sort of trials and tribulations that you've got to go through with the film school. I think when I was on Those Who Do Bad Things, they had like... were you there for that with the fire guy? And he was literally just sort of like turning this fire on and off. I'm like, you...
Will was in the fire. Literally, I think sparks flew on Will.
Yeah, I had to just pretend it wasn't happening. I was an extra in that in Those Who Do Bad Things. Yeah.
Yeah, it's...
You were drinking on that shoot.
Fuck off! It was 0%. Anyways.
Well, language.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah. just more editing. It's fine.
At least you get to rewatch all of it and make sure all of it's perfect.
I'm gonna have so much joy.
Yeah, you'll be bald by the end of the year.
Yeah.
By the day.
Yeah, lots of swearing. But yeah, lots of health and safety gone mad. But you had quite an interesting shoot. So the 2 shoots I've been on, there's been numerous problems. None of it's gone very smoothly. Like I mentioned, Those Who Do Bad Things, there was a fire engine that was called because someone set off the fire alarm, and that wasn't good. And then for my other film, we got thrown out of the location. No, that wasn't Adam's fault.
I want to know why you got thrown out.
We were at Belgrave, and the Belgrave people had double booked us.
Wait, so what? Sorry, what film was this?
It was Milo and Sasha.
Oh my
My
god!
best friend.
We got thrown out of Belgrave. But how?
Because we were too rowdy. No. Because we got there at 8, because it's like a really big shoot we were doing, because there's about 20 extras, loads and loads of lighting. We were doing a full day shoot. And this was the most important day of filming, and then at the end it was just we were just sort of, this guy just comes in and was like, we need compromise here, and he's coming in really bolshy and sort of annoying, and he was like, no, I've got a gig, I need to set up for my gig, and I was like, oh, okay. And then the Belgrave people had double booked us, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh, so you just did you kill him or something, or what'd you do?
No, they just, the Belgrave people were like, yeah, no, you just gotta let him do it, because he's bringing in money to the bar.
And you weren't?
No.
How much left do you have to film though?
Shit.
Did you have a lot left to film?
We had a lot left to film. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to redo it.
Damn.
So, which is unfortunate. But
how do you control them?
Did you compromise that with Belgrave though?
we don't. What to do? It's it was the biggest day. That was the most expensive day.
When you got kicked out, to say, well, we've not finished yet.
Yeah, but they didn't care.
Early, but
they're a business. They need to sort of business it up, which is a shame. So we're have to redo that. And also we had an actor from Game of Thrones in our film, which is probably going to get hard for him to get back in.
Oh, for God's sake!
Who did he play?
What did you say? Sorry.
Who did he play in Game of Thrones?
Tyrion. Sorry, sorry. Keep going.
The kid who was breastfeeding a lot.
No way.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, he was because he's friends with the
Joffrey.
director. No, not Joffrey.
That would be insane.
No,
it's the
Vale guy.
Yeah, and the big tunnel door
not
thing.
Hodor, Adam.
So the big fucking trapdoor castle bit kid.
Yeah.
Oh my fuck, that's awesome. That's really awesome.
Also in sex education, yeah. I showed him Wordle.
Oh my god. Okay.
We shared water. Now he follows me on Instagram.
That's really cool. That is really
it's
cool.
pretty cool.
Is that your claim to fame now?
It is a little bit.
That's I can't even. That's actually I'm starstruck. That's awesome. That is really cool.
Yeah, he's a good guy. But enough about me. So you go. I'm quite interested in what your sort of difficulty, because I think you had sort of a lot of stuff that went wrong. Because I think a lot of stuff that went wrong with this is probably a little bit our fault. But with you, it was very much sort of illness, COVID, terrible wind. Because it's currently in the midst of what is it? We had Storm Dudley, then we had Storm Eunice, and then we got another storm.
Storm.
I don't know.
I thought we
what
still
storm
on Storm Eunice.
Yeah, I thought we were still on Storm Eunice.
No, they It's
We've got another storm coming.
Yeah.
Great.
Oh god. Yeah.
They're cold.
Well, we were Eunice, so.
Yeah.
Eunice is quite bad though.
Eunice
Compared to yeah.
Oh, such a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not gonna do that. But
Storm
I mean,
Storm Franklin, apparently.
Oh.
From GTA.
I knew you were gonna say that. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, terrible.
Good. Yeah. Fuck that storm. And
Yes, haircut.
God damn it. Yeah. Yeah. That storm killed us a bit. It almost killed our actors. I had to every shot we had to get our actors into a car. Every other shot we had to get them out, get them in, get them out. We had to make sure they didn't die of hypothermia. Make sure that their hair didn't fly out of proportion, so like it did look different for different shots. And I had to triple check with the actors every single take, being like, "Are you okay? Are you ready to continue? I don't want you to die on this shoot because I'll be responsible," and I'd feel bad. I do care for their health, quite
an ethical approach,
So essentially, we can't shoot corpses, so that was the idea. So we braved it. Everyone was okay. The audio is probably windy as fuck. We had a boom, we had a dead cat. It's fine.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how could you? I mean, I don't think that dead cat will. Stop all that
it will
wind.
try.
It's with the lavs as well. They get very. I had that a lot.
Yeah.
It's not good. It's not good.
We used that really expensive microphone because originally, I know I said to you, Oliver, we bought the Rode NTG, but on the day after, the guy was like, "Oh, do you want to have the the blue one that you used?"
Yeah, the blue.
So we used that.
The blue one's very expensive and very nice. It's about $2.5 grand.
1.5.
Was it 1.5? No, it's 2.5, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, well, he gave
I don't
me
know.
1.5. He said it was like the Arri Alexa of microphones.
Yeah, it is a little bit. It is a good microphone. But probably it was just that windy though. Have you seen those videos of like people being blown along with their bags?
The best one I've seen is that like some guy was in his garden, like this big tent type thing in his garden. He fell onto it and it flung him over to his neighbour's house. Like the wind just looked up underneath it like a tent and it just flew over.
Oh my god.
It's not a good time.
No.
Yeah, bins were just flying into the road. There were cars who had to stop. We were trying to get a shot where our main character crosses the road after spotting someone.
Yeah.
And trying to do that with the segmented traffic that was going on with the bins. Absolute chaos. It took us back a few minutes. But
do you think that, in a way, Storm Eunice kind of added to the film a little bit? Or did you try and work around the chaos with the chaos of it and with all like the rain and the wind? Do you think it added to it? And if it did you rewrite some stuff for it?
Yeah, actually, exactly that. I thought about it's cool to have it raining suddenly or something, and I think the way I've sort of had to deal with that is in my mind, going from scene to scene. If it, for example, started raining right after another scene that wasn't raining, I can just have thunder going, maybe just in the scene before, and we cut to the next scene, which is now raining. Like, maybe it's just like a sun thing, maybe it's all in his head, maybe, it all sort of adds that chaos, right?
It's going to take some editing, that's for sure. Like, I was watching the rushes last night, and I was thinking, oh yeah, I'll edit a small scene together. The wheelbarrow scene. I thought, oh yeah, I'll edit this together. Nah, got it into Premiere. I was like, nah, I can't do this. I'm going to bed. It was just
yeah. I gave actually that exact scene a crack last night as well. That's crazy. Just to see, if things were.
You probably got further than me. I got the clips into Premiere.
Well, I mean, hey, it works.
That's it. Just got your clips into Premiere.
I don't know which one to use with the master. Like, do
Yeah.
use this one or?
Yeah, I used I managed to make something of it. Wasn't chaotic enough though, so I'm not done with it. But anyways, I'm not editing the film, so
I
hey.
presume there's going to be a lot of post sound as well.
Oh my god,
in
yeah.
a way of, like, the wind, maybe if you added thunder and stuff like that. It's going to be. Whoever your sound guy is, I wish them good luck.
Yeah, so we got a second year. Her name is Ava Doyle.
That's quite a big thing for a second year to do.
I can't even stress how amazing she was. Actually, maybe the best person on our production. Actually, absolutely amazing. I'm not even kidding. She is like, she's going places. She's absolutely amazing. So reliable. She was speeding before we even had to say it.
Sure she wants to do sound next year.
Oh my god.
She's decided between sound and production design.
Yeah, she knew the tracks she needed to do for certain things, for certain takes. She knew exactly where to hide from the camera. She absolutely nailed it. So yeah, Ava was absolutely a godsend, really. Got her from Matt Boyle, who's in charge of second year, and me and Matt Boyle are tight now. So
we had a couple of second years on our shoot. They're quite sort of I think often the second years who want to work on third year productions are the sort of the ones who want to do lots of work and are interested in actually sort of putting in the effort. I think I've worked with some very good sort of second years and stuff like that over the two shoots and stuff like that.
Creme de la creme.
The creme de la creme, yeah. Exactly.
Didn't you also have a couple of problems with some second years as well? Who had it at the start, then just
I had a boom up who dropped out for those who do bad things, and then I got some guy who was an MA student. Well, he has a master's in sound design, and he just decided to come along and help. So that was pretty good.
That's pretty
pretty useful. So yeah, you also Adam here, who is having very poor audio quality on our podcast at the moment, was your producer for the production.
Yeah.
And he unfortunately fell ill. So how was that like, sort of doing a film without a producer on set? Was it sort of, you didn't notice, or was you sort of like, this is hell?
You didn't notice.
we didn't notice. Here's the thing: we didn't notice at all. In fact, yeah, we were like, wait a second, Adam's supposed to be. Oh wait, no, Adam isn't here. Oh yeah, we made. It was actually better, Adam. It was better. No, it was actually the worst. So first, the biggest thing, the most thing, whatever, was travel, because Adam was going to handle travel for everyone, all cast, crew, all that stuff. Didn't have Adam doing that, so we had to use our first AD, also called Adam.
Oh, okay.
Adam Lloyd Jones, yeah. So kind of like a replacement, but but apart from just travel, it's all like paperwork and making sure everyone's happy on set, especially just keeping the cast happy as well. Back in our house, which was our green room for 3 days, for 2 days because one of our things were cancelled. It was okay. We cleaned it every night. It was all right. And props there, kit there. It was a bit all over the place, but it was okay. But just not having Adam was kind of also a bit of a morale killer as well. It's kind of sad to see that you plan all these things with Adam, all the cool scenes that we wanted to look at, like Adam wanted to see these scenes go down, I'm sure, but sadly could not because of all the shit that happened. So
I'm literally still slowly going through the rushes and going on bits that I wasn't there for, and just like reliving the moment. Like I'm more interested in the bits before camera than the actual takes. Like the takes are good, but just the chat before is like the bits I've missed.
Yeah, I've got some behind the scenes, Adam, I can send you. Yeah. So it's gonna be cool.
That's sad. I've got nothing to watch on Sundays now.
Yeah. Were you looking jolly without Adam? So you said you missed a day of filming, which is very unfortunate, because every day of filming is quite like sort of crucial, because filmmaking is very expensive. I remember one of the lectures we had from like a guest lecture. He said like, we spend like 10 grand a day hiring this house or whatever. So what happened with that? Why did you miss a day, and how did that sort of affect the production?
So yeah, essentially it was our 4th day. It was our final shoot day, all set to go, schedule sorted, scene sorted, everything, actors ready to go. And then one of our camera operators, I don't know if I should dox him here, because it's not his fault. He was a good guy for doing the test. He did a lat flow test. Peter, one of our cam ups, I'm not going to say his last name. He did a lat flow test, and he tested positive at the end of the 3rd day. So this was about 9 p.m. I get 3 messages, one from Adam Salisbury, our producer, just now, and got one from our first AD, and got one from Peter himself, all saying, "Urgent, please call me now." And I was like, "Oh, someone must have died." So I called Peter first because he was the first to message, and Peter's just like, "Yeah, I got COVID," and we were like, "Oh, okay. Well, what can we do?" Obviously, I'm gonna be honest. We all had the same thought. We said, "Let's just not tell the uni." Everyone had the same thought, and it's understandable. And yeah, it's terrible. But we all had that same thought because we're just so into the production. We're like, we need to get this done. Yeah, we can't reschedule.
You had like 2 days already, and you're in the flow of it, and you've got
just need to do it.
Yeah,
and that was essentially what we were thinking. And then I was like, then again, can I live with that? And can I lie to everyone, including all the supervisors and the people in charge of our group and the actors and everyone? It just feels terrible. Yeah. So ultimately, I texted our production supervisor Addy last night, not last night, sorry, the night of the 3rd shoot, saying, Peter got COVID, what the hell do we do? We've all tested negative because we all did lat flows that night. And she said she'd try to get back to me in the morning just before the shoot, just to see if we can redo it. Got in the morning, she messaged Helena, our health and safety for the uni, and everybody needed to be negative on a lat flow in the morning, and we also all needed to be double jabbed at least. Everybody was double jabbed, everybody was negative, except from one person, our lead actor was not double jabbed. So I was just like, okay, we got to be honest. I'm not going to lie to Addy for like months and months and months saying, and in public safety, just safety in general, like I don't want people to die as a result of our stupid little film. So ultimately, cancelled shoot, gonna reschedule it for about 2 weeks time, and in a way kind of a great thing anyways, because it snowed on the day we were supposed to shoot, and that would have been chaotic as fuck, but we would not have had a good time. I think we would have had to cancel anyways. It was atrocious, considering that our lead actor was almost dying when it wasn't snowing. If it was snowing, I don't know if he would have lived the shoot, so that would have been a lot worse.
And also in a way that it's delayed, you can like what Adam's doing, you can check through all the rushes and stuff like that, see what you need to reshoot as well. So in a way, you can. It came as a slight blessing.
100%. I think honestly at this point, it's not even just me trying to make up for it. It literally is a complete blessing because hindsight is going to be actually amazing. We can plan the day completely. We can go. I think we can have more aggressive call times as well. We can say sunrise we start, and then when it gets dark we stop. Hopefully we won't go over an illegal hour thing, but we will do it however much we can, because it's just having that last day organized and sort of having that breather as well is really useful. I think just to again see what we need to reshoot or what we need to do. Really, it's kind of nice.
Well, like you were shooting halfway, like the back end or the start end of a storm, so I think it'd be good to get those bits as well. And also, I'll actually be able to attend this time, so I think it'd be good for me and gives me something to write about for my journal.
Yeah, for sure.
There's a lot to write about in your journal there.
Oh god, yeah, for sure, yeah. Oh dear, yeah, and yeah, you're right, Adam. I think with the storm, did have. I mean, it was a problem for sure. A lot of shots, though. I mean, you just find out that rain. You can't really see rain that often on camera. Weirdly enough, a lot of the time, if it's just like spitting, you can barely tell. So as well with with a really like aggressive grade, like color grade, right, and something with just like fast cuts.
It's more noticeable on the jackets more than anything.
Yeah, that's true. Ultimately, we'll just.
And the hair's wet.
Yeah, true. I think we're just gonna take a work. I think if we just cut away to something like a cloud, like a going grey, or like a fast motion or something, just make it this weird ethereal kind of film that just things sort of happen immediately. That's the best way we can sort of get around it. And these fast cuts and everything is going to be essential as well. Just manic willingness to just make this not as grounded as it initially was is probably the best way of doing it.
So is this an experimental film as well? So in a way, you can mess around with these types of stuff as well. Get away with it. If it's like a drama film, no, it'd be completely different.
True. Yeah, that's another thing with the experimental. I mean, this film was initially very, very different. So as I said, I was going to go in places with no permissions. Stupid. I was going to shoot on cameras, these small, tiny, genuinely tiny digital cameras that I would get from charity shops. Now the idea was I would have about 10 of them, and I'd have 5 who I could just mess with them. I could throw them across the street, or I could drag them across the ground. I have a main character throw up in the lens. We then clean the lens, and there are remnants of like the throw up on the lens for the rest of the film, kind of thing. It was like one of those where the cameras get used and abused in such a way that we don't care, but we can get anything we want. If we see a drain, during shoot, hey, let's put the camera in there. I don't give a shit if the camera gets destroyed, as long as we get the footage. That was the idea. That was the film, until that fell through as well, sadly enough.
You couldn't find cameras, or just not feasible? Could
have found cameras. The issue was Addy was the biggest downside on this. Also, a lot of the crew didn't like it either. They thought it was a bit too... and that's the thing, I will be honest here. For a lot of people, when you say that you don't want to shoot in 1080p, they just give you that look. They just... I don't know if they can comprehend it. It's just like you don't want to shoot in HD? What are you doing? Are you at a film school, or you were doing this by yourself? Like, the film ultimately wasn't really supposed to be clean, and I still want to fuck with it in the edit, but again, swearing. But I'm so sorry. It's in like there are segments here, and I'm like swearing in certain bits. You're gonna have to watch the entire thing. I'm so sorry. Yeah.
So it's fine.
Anyways, so that was the film initially, and it's changed. It's not for the worse. It's just changed, and we had to work around it. We're working with.
Great. I think it looks great. Will, it's going to be wholesome and Yeah, it's going to be a nice film to watch.
Yeah, true. I think that's the thing that really kind of scared me, Adam, though, I won't lie, that you said when we were deciding the cameras, you were like, let's have a nice HD film, it will look nice. And Adam, I was like, that's not the point. Essentially, at the time, that wasn't the point. It needs to look atrocious.
It's a bit like Dead Man's Shoes. It's like, make it look...
It's going to look ridiculous.
Yeah, that's a better way of putting it, Adam. Because it needed to look just utterly ugly, and a willingness to just have that ugly look and just jumping on you, essentially from the screen, just like non-stop, 12 minutes, just chaos.
So
it will be that, though.
So do you have to change the story around then a little bit then, or do you keep the story as it was but just shoot it differently?
Well, initially the story was sort of going to be, we would have marker points for specific like plot points, right? And we work with everything else kind of in an improvisational kind of way, which is the energy I kind of did for my SW4 film as well. Jeez. So that also fell through because I had to write a script, and the script kind of gave me that structure that I could work with cameras that were a bit better, and having like a boom mic, having a bigger crew. It became a different film, not necessarily worse, but again, it was just a different film we had to work with, and as a result, basically the story was slightly different. Big thing about this one was kind of the story didn't really matter too much. It was just sort of the goal and the things he does as he tries to get there, sort of that come about from doing these no permission shoots. That was the idea, right? He'd be running through a mall, and we don't plan what happens, kind of thing. Or he runs down Trinity, and then maybe security get involved, maybe police get involved. We shoot it all. Maybe us as cameramen get thrown in the thing. We shoot that, and maybe the film that adapts based on that. That would never happen. But what if, right? What if? And if it did, it would become the film. So after uni, I think something that is less structured like that is probably going to be where I'm going to go.
Cool. So you're sort of mentioning what you're going to be doing after uni. That's something I sort of ask everyone who sort of comes on. What are your sort of plans post university? Because you mentioned sort of the film is a bit less structured and stuff like that. But is there sort of like a concrete plan in place, or?
So, well, if you want to know my actual plan for what I'm going, so after uni, I want to try to get a film like that done, right? So for as long as I'm in Leeds, for as long as the lease of my house is, which is 1st of July. So I want to try to get as much of that done then. After I leave Leeds, I'm probably going to go back home near Bristol. Probably just stay with my parents for like a year. It's rent free. I don't have to pay rent back to my parents. Get a job. Get some money. Just honestly get any type of job. I don't care. Do stuff on the side. Do editing work on the side. Like I was doing Fiverr stuff and some other stuff as well. Just make as much money as I can and then try to find a place. And then I'm probably going to go into editing because that's where I'm most knowledgeable. I know I directed this one, but getting into directing is a pain in the ass.
In a script writing class, because we shared quite a lot of classes in first year, and we were coming in saying, oh yeah, I picked up this boots job to do on Fiverr. It was like end of year,
my God, yeah,
end of year type thing, and it was like, it's the worst. It was like really cringy.
Yeah. There was a lot of bad projects on Fiverr. A lot of bad projects. I've got to a point though where I'm now working with one guy. It's you're gonna laugh. He came to me saying, "Hey, Will, I see you do editing on Fiverr. Could you edit my Fortnite gameplay videos?" And I'm like, okay, yeah, sure, I'll do that. And now that has become my most sustainable kind of income.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Now we're off from Fiverr. He gave me his email. We now work on these videos. And to be honest, I'm starting to like Fortnite at this point. I've edited so much, I might even start playing it. I don't know. Wow. But yeah, he's a lovely guy, though.
Was it a thing of
lovely American man.
Doing all the transactions through Fiverr, or have you stopped? Or have you started doing things outside of Fiverr now that you've used it once to get connected and then sorting payment out somewhere else?
So essentially, that's the thing about Fiverr. It's Fiverr are very protective over basically the clients and the sellers who use it. Yeah. So they don't want you going to any other site. So now, basically, if you're on Fiverr, you have one message sort of thing that you can use to message your clients. But here's the thing, it has an auto-detect system. So if you type in an email or type in a website address or anything in that messaging thing, Fiverr will detect it and give you a warning and say, you are not allowed to contact people outside of Fiverr.
Wow,
It is,
that's
I
no,
didn't know that.
it is absolutely ridiculous. So that's why what I did was he reached out to me. His name's Scott. Scott reached out to me saying, what's your email? And I was like, I'm afraid I can't give that information away. Fiverr will not let me. Now that's the thing so that he gave me a cryptic message after that. He sent me a Word document, basically with his email on, saying, hopefully Fiverr does not see this, because why would they open a Word document? Why would they?
Yeah.
There's millions of people who sell on there. So yeah, essentially that was the idea.
That's clever.
So now we work entirely out of Fiverr because Fiverr takes a cut. Is the thing.
I was going to say that. Yeah.
Yeah, I believe it's like 20 to 15% cut.
Yeah.
So it's actually ridiculous that they even do that. So that's their incentive, and our incentive is now fuck Fiverr, and I just get odd jobs on Fiverr now. I mostly do this Fortnite stuff now, though.
That's pretty cool.
Is it for
Yeah.
YouTube?
Yeah, it's for
So you
YouTube,
got
and
quite a good following or not?
I'll tell you what, no,
No.
it's atrocious. It's actually beyond terrible, and I hope to God Scott does not see this. So the channel. Thing is, it's adapted past Fortnite at this point, but the channel itself has less than 20 subscribers, and I've made about 30 videos.
We've got more subscribers.
Oh my
Really?
goodness.
21 subscribers.
That's good. So yeah, that's the thing. But he's such a lovely man.
Yeah.
He's amazing, and now it's got to the point where he has a son called Ryan. So I'm doxing this guy. He has a son, so basically, and he wants to get into editing as well. So now he's suggested that I tutor his son how to edit. It's adorable, right? But it's like more money, I'll take it, and I'm not too bad as well. So I think I'll be alright.
This is
It's
like
really
a completely new venture for you, where you could start like an editing school.
God, no, God, I'd be terrible. It's just awesome, and he's just all the way from Naples in Florida. So
Wow.
He's American.
Yeah, he's American, yeah, and he's
nice.
a lovely American man. He's got he's got a British wife. That's why he went on Fiverr.
Okay.
And that's how he pays me.
I thought Fiverr was solely British.
Well, yeah, at least Fiverr in like Fiverr.co.uk or whatever. Yeah. But yeah, and that's how I get paid. So I get paid through his wife because his wife, British. And I'm also using him and the work I've done for him as my placement.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
I mean,
it's
we can
ultimately
use this as our placement, which is pretty good.
that's brilliant.
Yeah.
So
But
yeah.
hopefully get somewhere else. I think that's
Yeah, hopefully.
This is not good enough for you, Luke.
It's just something I don't have to worry about, I think. Yeah.
I mean, I've got a meeting. I keep saying I've got this meeting, but the guy I was trying to get my placement with, he's currently in. I was meant to have a meeting last week, but he was filming the Super Bowl for the UK coverage.
Cool.
Wild.
So he was in America, so I couldn't really have a meeting with him. But they do post production for like sports and stuff like that.
That's awesome.
So I'm hopefully getting a meeting this week with him
Sick.
after he's like cured his jet lag.
That's cool.
Yeah.
No, I think getting experience is quite difficult because the university don't find it for us.
No.
Which I don't know whether I kind of expected them to or not. I'm not sure.
I never expected them to get it.
I know other courses they do find it for you though. So with music tech, they'll reach out to sort of companies and they'll find it for you and stuff like that.
So
Which
say
is
accounting and stuff like that, they have like partners and stuff like that.
But I suppose you can find
NHS courses, they definitely find it for you. But...
Yes. Yeah, be a nurse. And stuff like that, and they find it for you. But filmmaking, not important.
Because filmmaking's quite. You work on your like after uni. It's like I can't remember what the name of it is, but you work on your own. Freelance, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to like connect yourself to big production companies or stuff like that.
It's a bit rat racy, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I don't know whether I actually want to work in the film industry, but it's it very much its own thing. So obviously you are in the same year as us in film school, the wonderful third year, which is the most stressful year.
Terrible. It's just terrible. Yeah.
Dissertations and all hell.
I'm
definitely started my dissertation.
Slowly lose my sanity over that.
Definitely started my journal as well.
Hashtag sarcasm.
Yeah. So second year we were
So many lies on this show. So many lies.
right. It's very truthful on this podcast. So second year was a hard time for all of us. That's when we started the podcast, and it was terrible.
We started on Discord. Literally, we started on Discord with. I had like a 30 quid Amazon Basics.
Yeah, me with my 200 quid microphone. You sort of
robotic.
It wasn't good. We all made films. Some of which we were proud of, and some of which should be
burn at the stake.
Yeah, 100%.
So, what did you do last year with your film? Did you direct anything? Did you
whatever? So Experimental was the first module we did, right? Because they swapped us around. It's different this year, but so Experimental. I made a film called My Friend Marcel, and it was about a man who goes kind of psychotic in his own home. About he draws this little stick man friend, all about isolation essentially, and kind of try to capsulate that whole thing about how you sort of get sick of people in relationships, especially in isolation, and to try to capture the feeling at the time. I was feeling very kind of dead. Not that everyone obviously was, very demotivated, but in the end made something I was pretty proud of it. I'm glad it worked out as it did, and shot it entirely by myself, and only me. But the thing is, in the context of it, completely makes sense, as he's literally isolated, and he's literally filming himself.
Were you living
in the
on your
film.
own at the time?
No, actually living in a house with 5 other people.
Nice.
So wasn't going too crazy, but actually in a way it was kind of made things harder to shoot, because I had to wake up dead early in the morning, get things shot before people went into the living room.
Wow.
Yeah, and literally I felt quite psychotic during it. So yeah, and
encapsulate your character.
Kind of had to encapsulate the character, yeah. And the whole process was kind of good. Funnily enough, those supervisor meetings we had to have like during the experimental module, we had to so I had Matt Boyle as my supervisor guy. Initially hated the idea, was trying to stop me from making it. I then sort of made something like a short scene of it.
Yeah.
Sent it to him, and I was more like, I'm not really feeling it either. But then he's like, Will, you have to make this. And I'm like, okay. So Matt Boyle was almost the death of the film, but he's also the only reason the film exists.
Yeah.
Because I would have stopped doing it if he didn't say anything. So good job, Matt Boyle. And then the film was made, and I'm happy with it. And it was almost 20 minutes long, and I had to apologize profusely apologize to the all the supervisors before they watched it. But that's the thing. I'm gonna say it had to be that long, and the thing is, they said afterwards, they wanted to cry when they saw that length, but they agreed it had to be that long, and they really liked it, and I was really happy with it.
Was that the reason? Doing that film, was that the reason why you wanted to do an experimental as your final year piece then? Or was it
kind of
want to do a drama?
Well, actually the second. It's because that wasn't the only film we did. So experimental, and then we did the film project film right at the end of the year, and I did a slow drama about abuse in World War II. And it was set outside. It was slow shots that lasted for more than 5 seconds. It was very self-righteous, and I was not a fan of it. It was called A Private Matter, and had a really gimmicky name, and the main character's name was William, and he was an abuser. So anyways...
hint.
Someone just suggested, what if we call the main character the literal abuser? Let's call him William. And I was like, yeah, that sounds fine, without just disassociation with my own name, apparently. So, I was just like, okay, that's fine. So many things in that production, I'll be honest, I sort of just let happen. I directed that film essentially, right? Well, essentially, I did. Yeah. So I did a lot of work for it, obviously, but a lot of creative decisions. Someone just would suggest something, and I just sort of let it happen. So like the name of the film and the name of the main character, and some visual ideas and editing choices and grade choices, lots of things I just sort of didn't really care about. And it kind of spoke to the whole fact that the whole film, I sort of felt this wasn't a film I wanted to make, but it was the only film I could make, obviously during COVID, because we only could have 2 actors or whatever. So
I wonder who your producer was.
So who could the producer be? By the way, did an excellent job. Adam Salisbury did an excellent job on producing For Bright Matter. So it was a very smooth production. That's the thing. It was very smooth. It worked.
It was fun to make. We had a good laugh, and
for the most part.
Will fell asleep. Will fell asleep on set. I remember that.
During lunch. During lunch. It was. Hold on. Let's talk about this now. I was told to stay with the kid. This was in Heading Campus, right?
Yeah.
Everybody went to go lunch in the nice warm thing. I was freezing outside. Had an umbrella over me while it was raining.
On your own?
On my own with all the kit, and I was freezing, and then my body just gave up, and I just fell asleep.
So you fell asleep. You wouldn't guard the kit then, right?
No. I was trying to guard the kid, but my man's body could not handle it. So I tried all I could, but essentially that film was slow and kind of boring, and I wanted nothing to do with it. So that is why I wanted to make this film now. I wanted to do something. I wanted to embrace the sort of budget, ugly feel of student films, and I didn't want to have to make a student film that felt like it was trying to be an important drama that was addressing abuse in a different way. I didn't want to have to do that, because that's completely. It's like we're clearly not experienced enough to do something as intense as that.
Yeah.
Why did I make a film about abuse in the Second World War for second year? What am I doing? Why didn't I just make something?
Set location where we're film at one place, and it was hard during second year because we all had the same place to shoot. Well, not the same place, but we had the same location area to shoot in. It was like Henley campus, which was not where we go to university.
No.
So we had the location scout of that area. There were different places we could shoot there, but that's pretty much where we could shoot. So find a place there. And to do it for Second World War as well must be difficult for set design and stuff like that as well. Yeah.
Now, the thing that inspired us for Second World War was because the Victoria sort of arch that was over by in Hendon campus, that was sort of gave us a nice sort of feel of like just the olden times.
Yeah.
And we thought, why not? Let's do a period piece. Why not? Let's challenge ourselves. Production design, it was Amelia Lester doing production design. She did a great job, actually. She went to Leeds Playhouse to get the costume for it was like an army costume, sort of an old sort of 1940s just like casual dress costume as well, and also main character's party dress kind of thing. It was really cool. So costume, absolutely nailed it. Posters in the background, stuck them on the Victoria Monument, sort of covered up the graffiti.
The table scene was great.
That was on there. The what? Sorry.
The table where you had like a proper table and chairs, like made a dining room pretty much.
Essentially, yeah.
It was great.
Basically, the film takes place after this is not really spoilers, but it's after the death of the husband. Husband's died in the war, and our main character, Penny, must now come to terms with the death of her husband, but also the abuse that she suffered while he was alive. And she walks to the Victoria Monument where they always used to go, and she sees these flashbacks, basically fully situated within the environment around her. So quite literally sees herself, sees her husband literally on the pathway. Beside the pathway, there's a table and chairs as if it's like the living room inside the path. Essentially, that was the idea. She keeps seeing these flashbacks until she overcomes it and frees herself from her dead husband. And yeah, ultimately the idea was I'm going into the whole like promotional bit now, aren't I? Trying to like sell the film, even though I think it sucks. It was the idea was it was trying to explore something different, because like world wars, we don't really think about war heroes as bad people. The abuse wasn't really a thing that was. Well, it wasn't. It was a thing, but it wasn't recorded. That's why so many people don't really think it was a thing back in the old world wars. And it was far less morally grey than modern wars as well. So these people are heroes. Many of them were not though. So we just thought we'd try a different spin on the whole war hero thing.
Interesting, yeah. Yeah, that's quite depressing, but
yeah. Anyways, now we're making a fun film,
So we're sort of nearing the end here. This is something we asked Danny last week, and he gave the craziest answer to this question. What's your favourite film? Please don't say Kung Fu Panda.
Yeah, well, it's Kung Fu Panda 3. No, okay, let's
Stuart Little 4.
That's hilarious, but the film doesn't exist, by the way. I'm gonna say Being John Malkovich by Spike Jonze and written by Charlie Kaufman, because I love Charlie Kaufman. Absolute
good choice though.
Absolutely lovely film. It just gives me so much like. I feel so secure when I watch that. It's so like it's weird, but it's like kind of like weird enough that like it's on the edge of being like too much. Yeah. And it's like it's perfect. It's where I like it. It's like if I watch a film like, I don't know if anyone see Titan, yet.
Yeah.
Insane,
Yeah. Sorry, the
Drove
Mental.
it. I had too much for me, man. I just didn't enjoy it. I'm trying to enjoy it. You know, clearly something it's the case where the media is more it's smarter than the viewer, right? That's like a common thing, right? But I just can't be asked to have to analyze it. I don't want to, because it distressed me so much.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I don't want to have to watch
It was
that
a
again.
horrible film.
It was.
Have you seen?
I watched it the other day. And
Yeah.
Have you seen Julia Doctormo's other film, Raw?
Raw.
Yeah, I have not seen Raw, no, but I've heard
We
actually
reviewed
good
it on
things.
the podcast, and oh my!
I think I'd like Raw actually, because I think
It's very similar to Titan.
Okay.
It's,
Yeah.
it's another body horror.
Yeah.
It's truly the most disgusting film I've ever seen.
the most. Okay.
Yeah, and
It's-
I've seen quite a lot of sort of body horror films and sort
It's
of weird
pretty grim.
French films.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty good.
It's a lot. It's
Yeah.
really a lot. It's quite interesting. But yeah, I don't know where to go from that point now.
Great
I'm
film.
getting like bad memories.
I'm
of
so
what-
sorry.
We were
God,
reviewing it, and we
calm
were just
down.
like,
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah.
I made a beef
I
curry.
got a
with it, and
message.
Oh
from
my-
we were
oh
watching
my
it at
God.
the same time,
Curry.
but at different places. And then I got a message from him saying, "I shouldn't have eaten whilst watching this." It's
It was horrible.
Oh
yeah.
dear.
Truly. Awful.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, on that note, Will, thank you for coming in and chatting to us about your films. Hopefully the editing process for Jessica goes well.
Hopefully so.
I nearly called it Nancy then, because Adam keeps mentioning how he's working on two ladies.
Yeah, no, off and on shoot. Yeah, okay, yeah.
It's a bit weird.
His side piece. His side piece.
Yeah, his side piece, Nancy. But it definitely seems quite interesting. I was quite interested.
Why does everyone pick on me? I don't understand.
Because you're not here.
Yeah, you're on a phone, Adam. That's why we're picking on you. Hopefully it turns out really. It does seem quite interesting. I remember just sort of hearing about it. I didn't see the pitch for it, but because it was very early in the morning.
It was very early, yeah.
First
First
one,
one.
yeah.
First one.
But it did seem quite interesting. That's why we wanted to talk to you about it, because it just seemed so sort of chaotic. And it was so much off the cuff of like other films that are being made, like you said, sort of these student films that are trying to tackle, you know, these huge problems in like 10 minutes, probably. And I'm glad you're sort of leaning into the studentiness of it, which is quite cool. But yeah, thank you for coming on. Thank you for listening, guys. And we'll be sure to see you next week. With another special guest. So yeah, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Keep that
Adam
in.
also said bye.